Hello, everyone. So I'm Benoit Robert. I'm the director of the Cluster Mountains, the associations which brings together the mountains development stakeholder. Before starting, a few instructions for you. Please stop your camera, mute your microphone, and do not hesitate to interact on the chat. And to interact quite quickly, because during the last sessions, the people have the questions, but at the end of the sessions. We will discuss your comments at the questions at the end of the sessions. So delighted to welcome you today for the second edition of our International Cluster Mountain Days, an opportunity to meet us remotely 6 months before the Great Mountains Planet trade show, where in Grenoble, we'll have the opportunity to bring us together physically. The idea of this original digital event is to bring us together for a day to discuss the challenges of our mountain resorts. This morning, we start earlier with a nice roundtable concerning the mountains resorts in Asia and in Oceania, which was a great and exciting moment. So I'm delighted to continue this day with you and to talk about the European mountains resorts. For this, we have 3 great witnesses to whom I will give you the floor now to introduce themselves. Marco, I'll let you introduce yourself, and also please remember us where is situated the Dolomite in Europe.
Thanks a lot, Benoit, for the invitation, and thanks for being here. My name is Marco Pappalardo, and I'm the marketing director for Dolomite Superski. Dolomite Superski is said to be one of the biggest ski destinations in the world, and it's located in the northern part of Italy. Actually, it's the eastern part of Italy. It extends across 3 different provinces in Italy, 2 different regions. That's to say, on one side, Südtirol, on the other side, Trentino, and the province of Belluno, which is located in Venice, in Veneto.
Thank you. Thank you. Philippe.
Hello, everybody. A warmly welcome from my side. I'm Philipp Falkner. I am the young generation and the managing director from the Bergbahnen Sölden. Where is the Bergbahnen Sölden? We are in the middle of the Alps in Austria, nearly in the middle of Tyrol. Our ski area stands for quality and high-class guests and very long season. And I have a very nice meeting now with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Philippe. Mathieu. Mathieu, tu as ton micro qui est coupé.
Sorry. Good morning. I'm Mathieu de Chavannes. I'm the chairman and CEO for Compagnie du Mont Blanc. Basically, we're based in western part of France, 1 hour away from Geneva, at the cross border between Italy, Switzerland. So a very quick access from the Geneva airport.
Okay, thank you. Marco, Philippe, Mathieu, big thank you for your time today with us. For the progress of the sessions, we give ourselves 1 hour. So short times, but that's also the objective of the exercise, to be concise and effective. First of all, I will give you a little introductory to provide the context of our European mountain resort. And following these general introductions, we will give you the floor to Marco, Philippe, and Mathieu to tell us about their touristic destinations and discuss the issues that concern them. First of all, these few figures from the famous International Snow Report of our colleague and friend, Laurent Vanat, to remind you the importance of the European mountain resorts in winter times. 50% of our ski resorts worldwide are located in Europe. 50% of our skiers' visits worldwide are produced in Europe. Few words to characterize European mountain resorts. Historical, because for more than one century, our mountain resorts have welcomed with success local, national, and international clienteles in summer and in winter. Powerful, the mountain resorts have disrupted the economy of our mountains area with destinations known throughout the world and industrial know-how exports to all continents. Varied with the European continent brings together countless types of summer and winter mountain resorts, each as different as the next, and agile, capable of constantly innovating and adapting to changes, an essential quality in a world that is changing ever faster, ever stronger. but an economy that remains on the edge. In this sense, the last winter season is rich in lessons. Let's recall the context in fall 2022, international conflicts, energy crisis, inflationary spiral, COVID period, and for the mountains resort, all that was missing was a winter without snow. And that's what happened. A unique and historic phenomenon. Very low snowfall across the entire European continents. But in the end, an unexpected result with general attendance at mountains resorts by country, which trends to return to the level of attendance of the pre-period COVID. A situation that can be explained in particular by the return of the international customer. France maintains its place as a leading European destination in terms of skier days. Switzerland, after an exceptional winter in 2021-2022, find attendance at the average of the last 10 years. Austria, very affected by the COVID episode, is recovering and getting closer to its leading positions. Italy continued to win skier days, notably driven by the Dolomiti Superski locomotive. Scandinavian resorts, modern, integrated with a local clientele committed to winter sports, continue their development. And the same for the resort in Eastern Europe, driven by the leading countries of Bulgaria, Romania, but also Slovakia, led by the Great Tatry Mountain Resort Group that we met recently. An assessment that is ultimately very satisfactory and encouraging, but which clearly distinguishes two typologies of resorts: small and medium-sized mountain resorts and major international mountain resorts. Two typologies of mountain resorts, both equally important for their territory. Small and medium-sized mountain resorts in terms of territorial development, and major international mountain resorts, the other in terms of the economic benefits and employment. Two typologies of resorts, with strange weakness, threats, opportunities. Small and medium-sized mountain resorts, very anchored in their territory, represent more than 90% of the European mountain resorts, but less than 10% of the attendance. The large international mountain resorts represent less than 10% of the number of European mountain resorts, but 80% of the attendance. The goal for all our European mountain resorts in the coming years is that the gap between the small and medium resorts, mostly occupied by local and national clienteles, and the major international mountain resorts do not get bigger and bigger year after year. We need all our European resorts, mountain resorts, from the smallest to the largest. Faced with this current climatic, economic, and societal development, these two types of resorts must arbitrate development and decide today what they will be tomorrow. And that's what we are going to talk about today. So once more time, thank you, Marco, Philippe, Mathieu, to be with us. And let's start with a few words about the specificity of your three destinations. And in addition, could you provide us a quick review of your last winter and summer seasons? What surprised you, or the trends that you confirmed? Marco, can you tell us a little bit more about Dolomiti Superski destinations and what makes it unique? And how was your last touristic season?
Thanks, Benoit, and thanks for the introduction. Yes, I guess the specialty of Dolomiti Superski being unique, as I said before, it's a great extension. Dolomiti Superski extends across an area of 3,000 square kilometers in the northern part of Italy, 2 different regions, 3 provinces. We have different cultures. We have 3 different languages in the region. And I tend to say that the unique selling propositions of Dolomiti Superski in terms of what is the appealing for people coming over to spend their holiday in the Dolomites are 3 different assets. That means, first of all, the activity. During the winter season, during the winter, obviously skiing, but we tend to exploit more and more the warm season. And there we have a wide radius of activities, from biking to hiking to all kind of activities you can practice in the mountain. The second asset is the extraordinary culinary experience that we have in Italy, the Italian cuisine, which can be experienced in all the mountain heads that we have in the Dolomites area. We have 13 Michelin star restaurants in the area. We have 400 mountain heads where you can enjoy the best cooking Italian experience. And the third asset, I would say, is the landscape, the Dolomites. The Dolomites are a natural heritage since 2010. But it's I tend to say that people which come over to the Dolomites, they do not want just to practice their sport activity, just go skiing or go biking, but they want to sit down on a mountain hut, sit down a couple of hours and spend their time looking to the Dolomites, relaxing there and enjoying this marvelous landscape. Yeah, that's most of all. That are the most.
And what about the last seasons?
Yes, the last winter season, Benoit, was the best winter season ever in the Dolomites. And we counted 10 million ski days, more or less 4 million customers. And there are two different topics that contributed to the success of the winter season 22-23. First of all, we had wonderful wonderful snow conditions before Christmas. It snowed a lot in the Dolomites at the end of November and at the beginning of December, when this Christmas atmosphere starts to booster people for booking their winter holiday. And this topic attracted people to book their holiday in the Dolomites. And the second favorable condition we had last year was the fact that the COVID limitation we had in the previous 2 years in Italy, they ended last year. That means people could move freely, they could book their holiday, they weren't limited in accessing the lift facilities, for example, and this also contributed to the success we had last year. As far as summer is concerned, the summer season 23 didn't end yet. That means we are counting, we are not running our lifts at the moment. But it looks like a very interesting season. It's not the best season, but it's comparable to the before COVID seasons. That means I guess we will count at the end less than 4 million customers and 4 million people first entries in the system. And if you think about the fact that during the summer we have 120 lifts running compared to the 400 lifts that we have in the winter, it's, I guess, a very interesting figure.
Indeed. Okay, thank you very much. So, Philippe, it's your turn.
Yes. So we can start. Please, the next. Yes, I can talk about our area, this Sölden ski area. Everybody knows Sölden because of the events. You may knew next week we have to celebrate 30 years of World Cup racing in Sölden. It's a quite famous winter start event for the whole winter tourism branch. We are very, very happy that we have this event every year here. The snow conditions now are fine. And yes, some facts about our ski area. We generally impose, we have absolutely snow guarantee from October to May. That's a unique attribute from our company in Austria. We have the highest altitude from 1,350 meters to 3,340 meters. This is the highest point in our ski area. We have, I talked before, a lot of signature events with unique characteristic. The Ski World Cup racing next week, then Hannibal. It's a very cineastic installation on the glacier, which ride from local people, and also the Electric Mountain Festival for our young community. We have a very young community in our company and in our ski area from the guest side. Other big business next to our passion from the winter sport is also the summer. Every year we increase very fast in summer because of our bike destination, which name is Bike Republic Sölden. We have there round about now 70 kilometers of shaped bike lines and nature and single trails. We are there in the top 3 benchmark from Austria since 2015 and increase every year. The other big title in our company is also the gourmet and the cuisine side and the restaurants. We have there a very unique place on the Geislach Kogel. The name is Ice Cube Restaurant. It's the highest cuisine and 2-star restaurant in Austria. It was also the place for the 007 Bond film Spectre, which was filmed in 2018. Other big facts are the facilities. We have round about 31 lifts, 8 gondolas, 15 chairlifts, 8 drag lifts. We have a capacity for around about 65,000 people per hour. We are a family company. All owners are family clients or family partners. We have 2 glacier areas, Rettenbach and Tiefenbach. These are unique products from the Austria ski destinations. Not the other ski destinations have 2 glacier ski areas. One of a unique product is also the Golden Gate, coupled between the glacier area and the winter ski area. So we can bring all people very fast to the glacier by gondola and also by car. These are key facts. We have round about 144 piston kilometers, round about 428 hectares of slopes. This is a very high benchmark in Austria, not for France. Robert can talk there from much bigger areas, but I think we have a high quality area. The longest ski downhill route in our area is round about 15 kilometers long. This is the world record or the record in the regional local area from Austria. The highest difference of the altitude is round about 2,000 meters. Other very important fact is we always work with the world market leaders in the tourism branch, for example, Techno Alpine, Doppelmayr and Piston Bully. By the snow groomers, we have round about 25 snow groomers in our company, and also 4 external snow groomers make our slopes every day to a unique product for our clients.
Okay, Philip. And what about the last winter and summer season?
Yes, some dates or some numbers about our overnight stays. In the winter season 2018, we had around about 1.4 million overnight stays in winter. Last winter, we have a little bit increased number from 1.4, but we are very positive for this winter that we can back to the old number from 2019. In summer, we have 2019 450,000 overnight stays, and this year we are similar, but it's not finished yet. We finish next week, but we are very similar to 2019 and 2022.
Okay, thank you, Philippe. Mathieu.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So, Compagnie du Mont Blanc, basically we are a group made of different companies. We run, if you move on to the next slide, please. We basically run all the business in Chamonix. That means all the different ski resorts, Prévent, Flégère, Le Tour, Grand Montet, and l'Aiguille du Midi, which goes up to 3,800 meters, and some trains, the Montanvert train and the Tramway du Mont Blanc, the one that takes you up to Refuge du Nid d'Aigle. If you ever climb to Mont Blanc, that's the most used route. We have over 3 million visitors per year in Chamonix. And the difference, I guess, with others, resorts is we make 45% of our sales in summer, which is very unusual. That's due to the fact that we've got not only skiers, but also visitors, climbers, and also hikers and mountain lovers who come, especially in summer, not to do any sport, just to enjoy the view. Significant part of our business, it's mostly international customers, and that's going up years on year, especially after COVID, where there's a need for discovering nature. Basically, it's 125 million euros of sales. We're targeting 140 million in 2024. We invest a lot, huge amount of money, 44 million this year, for example. Over the last 5-6 years, that's roughly the amount we invested. Basically, the idea is to restore a decent product because we lacked some investment for years. We're getting there, but there's more and more. We have more plans for the future, so we're going to carry on basically this percentage for over the next 5 to 6 years. Basically 1,100 people in winter, 600 in summer, which is a big advantage for us because we keep the people. The one who do not work for us in summer, that's their choice. That's because Chamonix is a town, 10,000 people. They decide to do other things, but we keep them. So in terms of training, it's very important. And in November, we will change our status. That's a French new status called Entreprise à Mission. Basically, it's a change of the registry of the company in which you include social and environmental obligations over an undefined number of years. So that's a big step forward for us to say we are committed to this policy. We put it in the registry, and basically, if the management doesn't follow this, it could be removed. So it's the biggest engagement you can take in terms of status. Last winter was kind of a mixed year. Chamonix did extremely well, a record year, plus 18%. That's due to the fact that in France, there was a lack of snow. We had a huge, not snowstorm, but rainstorm in December that completely laminated all the work we had done. And so a lot of customers, which we were used to going to medium type of resorts, they came over to Chamonix because we go up to 3,800 meters. So we had a huge amount of people in Christmas, and to the extent that it was very difficult to give a decent service. And on the other side, the other resorts that we have, Megève or Les Ouches, they suffered from this lack of snow, and that explains why it got down to 17 or 10% for Megève. But overall, a very good year. This summer, we had a very, very good year, record year again. I think it's the 4th or 5th consecutive year where we have a record. That's due to the fact that it was very sunny, huge demand for, and especially international demand to discover, to have an experience in the mountain, get some nature experience. But unfortunately, that was done at the expense of the glacier. And I think we're going to talk about this later on. Global warming is very good for us in terms of business at the short term, but it's terrible in terms of what's going to happen medium or long term wise. That's all for me.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So let's talk about your issues and your project. As we all know, the mountains are facing new challenges: climatic, economic, environmental, sociological. And what are your most important challenges? In concrete, also, what actions have you taken or are you going to take to meet the challenges you have identified? So, Marco, Philippe, Mathieu, thank you. I'll let you speak. Okay, so Marco, you can start.
Thanks, Benoit. I would say that we are at a turning point at the moment, and I would divide the challenges for the future in short-term issues and mid and long-term issues. Under the short-term issues, I would include the economic slowdown in Europe, the high inflation rate that we experience at the moment, and the political uncertainty. Then, logically, obviously, the increasing cost of energy in terms of gas and power supply. The international instability, Middle East and Ukraine, obviously. And last but not least, under these short-term issues, the cost of living crisis, because our clients, our customers, they are very sensitive and they are likely to have less money to spend on travel. Under the mid and long-term issues, I would start with global warming and the climate change, and I would divide this topic in a nature-connected issue in the sense that global warming is taking place, and that's a matter of fact. And on the other hand, we in our industry, we are facing a public opinion issue due to global warming and climate change. That means we have a wide part of the public opinion, which is starting a great discussion about is winter tourism nowadays affordable? Should it be kept or should it be left to, let's say, to other things? Then we have the issue regarding how to persuade our stakeholders to convert all the production processes to a much more sustainable economy. And last but not least, I would say it's a smaller issue, but it's also very important. The matter of fact that we have new generations which are no longer starting skiing in the winter because they have a wide set of different opportunities. That means that recruitment is nowadays much more difficult than it was, for example, 10, 15, or 20 years ago.
Okay. Thank you very much. And the project?
The projects, starting from the issues I already told you, we are logically focused on a sustainable positioning. We define that sustainability, credible sustainability, we tend to say credible sustainability because we are an enterprise, and an enterprise has to be sustainable in a credible way. Sustainability is one of our most important issues, but it's also a value for Dolomites Superski. A value is the fundament of an enterprise, is the fundament of a human being, and it's also the fundament of an enterprise. And this value is the most important thing that we have. And we define that sustainability must be elevated to the level of a value. And that means that it's one of the most important assets that we want to present to our customers. It's an operation that has to be perceived by our customers as sustainable. And we start by saying that if we are able to have an enterprise in this area, in a mountain area, this is because of the Dolomites. This is because of this natural landscape. And as a matter of fact, we have to protect this landscape. We have to enhance this landscape, but basing on the 3 pillars of sustainability, which are obviously ecology, but also economy, and the social pillar. It's also very important. That means people have to stay in the region. They do not have to migrate to urban or suburban areas. And this is because we are able to have an enterprise here. We are able to offer them a job. The second challenge we want to face is the product development issue. And the product development has 3 different distinctions. The first of all, the innovation. We want to present to our clients, to our customers, much more innovative products in terms of prices, but also in terms of offers. Then we want to increase the cooperation with all the stakeholders in the chain. That means with the lodgements, with the ski rentals, with all kinds of rentals, with stores and so on. I have the feeling that we in our industry, we tend to work on ourselves, and we have to exploit the cooperation with the other sectors in the industry, with the other sectors in the tourism industry in the mountain areas. And the third aspect of the product development is the all year round experience. We have to exploit the warm seasons, because the warm seasons are, in a perspective, they offer much more development possibilities, opportunities than the winter have at the moment. And last but not least, I said it before, this new generation deal, we have to work on new ideas, on new products, on new ways to get to the more younger customers, the millennials and the Z generation. They, as I said before, they are no longer introduced to skiing as they were a couple of years ago or 20, 30 years ago. Even locals, we established that even locals, they tend to choose other kind of activities instead of skiing. Therefore, we have to create cooperations with schools, with organizations where these youngsters are, in terms of creating attractive products, family packages, and so on.
Okay, thank you very much, Marco. So, Philippe, can you tell a little bit more about you?
Yes, we are very similar to Marco. I like to talk a little bit about my vision. The first part is here you can see some products from our company. You see we have very modern architecture parts in our company. This is also a vision and a quality part which is important for us in the future. You see on the first picture the 007 Bond Museum, which was very important for us to bring more entertainment to our clients. Why we need this? You knew the chairlifts are every year goes faster and faster, but the skiers not ski longer than in other years, and so they need other attractions and other experience against the skiing. And there is a very big fact by us in the ski area, the entertainment part and also the gastronomy part. For us in the future, it's very important to bring much more unique products in our company, that we get new guest structures to us, to Sölden. For me, before the war begins, the Israel people are very interesting because they have a very high level on culture. They earn good money and they invest them very, very good. And these are a very good key market for us in the future. I hope the war will be fast ended. It will be fast ended. And the other parts are very similar with Marco. The sustainability side is also very important for us. We have to do their very, 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 very big deals. We have very big problems with the median side and the median land in Austria. We have a very negative mainstream against glacier areas and to ski there. We have to bring our key facts and our good facts much clearer to the clients and to the people which have no information about skiing. This is a big challenge, I think. Another big challenge is to bring young people back to snow in all types, to bring the experience them clearer to their feelings and to their lifestyle. We do there a lot of with music entertainments, and there we make some playings and some situation where they can feel the snow. My vision in my heart is think big, is our motto since the beginnings of the company in the history. I am now the third generation in the company. For me, it's very important to be innovative in all parts. Many of the visions characterize the approach of Sölden today, either a strict architectural masterpiece of adventure tours highlights. As a modern service company, we invest in innovation, quality, and highest technical standards. Some future task expanse of infrastructure and mobility. We have big problems that too much people drove by car to us. We invest a lot of money in the local bus systems and train systems, but I think we have to do in the future much more there. The other big part is best service quality and invest in renewable energies. The energy part in Austria is on a very high level. The cost side is very, very, very hard. And so we have to work on these points. And in the end, I like to say, but we are very positive for the future. I think we have the best job in the world. We can bring our emotion to a lot of clients, and this is my passion for the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Philippe. Mathieu.
If you move on to the next slide. Okay, my main issue, of course, I share the same one as the two others, but the biggest one, I guess, here is to find accommodations for seasonal staff. This wasn't an issue 3-4 years ago, but it has become the most significant one due to the increase of the real estate market here. So it's coming to a point where we need to buy hotels to transform them into the housing locations for our staff. That's the amount of the issue we're facing. So issue number one. The second one is, of course, the transport issue for two reasons. A, to facilitate the access to the resource, and secondly, to reduce pollution in the valley. So typically, originally, we were funding the transport, because transport is free of charge in Chamonix. We're paying 2 million per year to the local council to finance the transport. We're going to increase our share by another €1 million to really have a significant impact on the efficiency of the transport, with the hope that people will come to Chamonix without their car and rely on the efficiency of the public transport. Third issue, of course, is to adapt to climate change. The mountain is moving. We've got sites up to almost 4,000 meters. There's a lot of, I'm not going to go into details, but there's a lot of permafrost issues, rocks moving, glacier melting. So we need to adapt. There's a lot of R&D going on, but still we need to learn about this and continue adapting, even changing our equipment. And we face some significant issues over, especially in summer, because we were not used to having 30 degrees in Chamonix. That has a big impact on cable, on distortions of the equipment, all those kind of things that we were never thought about it before. Now we need to adapt. And as I said, we've got a lot of projects going on. And of course, my main concern is to make sure we manage all those projects securely, making sure safety is the priority number one. And everybody, despite all the work we have to do, it still could be an hostile environment, and make sure everybody comes home safely every night. And that's a big concern. That's got to be said every day to make sure we have the right rules in place to attain this objective. Next slide is to show you two different projects. Sorry?
Yeah, perfect. The project.
Okay, I was asked to talk about the different projects. I'll go quickly about it, but the first one is what's going to be the new Montanvert site. Montanvert is an old site. It's a typical tourist site that was set in the 60s, so with a lot of up to 12,000 people coming every day in summertime. But it was built with no real links in terms of architecture, buildings where there is no coherence basically in the setting up of this site. So we're going to change completely the architecture, put it in connivance with the site. We are going to build a climate center where we explain people the life of a glacier, how does it work, what's the future of them, what's the impact of a bushfire in California that can have in Europe. So basically 25 minutes visit into the 800 square meters site. That's the building you see on the right. And then you'll move up to a lift where you'll be able to go on by the glacier. But the difference between this configuration and the new one is currently it's a transport. The lift is a transport machine. Basically, it takes you from one point to another, and then there's 600 steps and you get down to the glacier. It's not very beautiful as a site, so everything's going to be dismantled. And this new lift is going to be an experience, not a transport, an experience that takes you right in the valley with a beautiful view. We often ask, why do you do this? Because the glacier is melting. The answer is always the same. We're not running after the glacier. We know it's melting. In fact, it's melting quicker than we were told that it's going to melt. So we're not running after it, but we want to take people at the bottom of the glacier to give them the chance to touch or to see the glacier while it's still time. And unfortunately, in a couple of years, it's not going to be the case, but there will still be a demand for people to walk around for hiking or mountain climbing. And this lift will have this use, basically. And just to finish on this project, the whole architecture is can be dismantled at any time. So it's versatile. That's a key point. So it was thought originally with the idea, if we need to remove it in 5 or 10 years' time, how do we do it? Everything is already planned to reduce the landscape impact, which is the priority number one for all projects that are built in the Mont Blanc area. The second project is the one that's going to rebuild the Grand Montais site. Unfortunately, there was a fire there in 2018. Everything was destroyed. We have to rebuild it. So we thought about it differently. We thought, what can we do with this site? With the idea of expanding the opening range of it. So currently, it was open 5 months a year. We're going to open it 10 months per year. And again, going back to the architecture, typically it's an industrial type of site. We have hired one of the best architects in the world, Italian one, Renzo Piano, which has designed a building based, that's the one you see on the right, by inspiring himself on the rocks that he's found on the site. So those rocks are over 3,000 years old. That's a perfect cube. And his idea, which I think was a brilliant idea, was to say, let's rebuild it based on this design and making it full of glass. So completely transparent, low impact. We found a place where there's no permafrost because this site is full of permafrost issues, but here it's based on, it's going to be built on rocks, rock solid rocks, if I can say that. And the idea is to have people who come here to ski and people to come to enjoy the view because the view is beautiful. And as I said, expanding the opening range because mountain guides, that was one of the biggest requests, is give us a site where we can work 10 months per year, north face of the mountain, and this site has all those characteristics. So that's what we're going to do. Huge projects, 150 million euros, combined with an adequation of transport issues. So everything's going to be redone, and it is set to be open in December 2026. That's
okay. Perfect, Mathieu. Thank you very much for all these informations you provide us. So now we're going to pass the next slide. So as we mentioned, there is so many challenge, and for the European meeting results, like every 2 years, we will be able to talk about it again at the Mountain Planet Trade Show in Grenoble, where the entire world's mountaineering developments will be together to discuss. We are lucky to have with us Jérôme Ruiff, the General Director of Mountain Planet. And Jérôme, could you tell us some few words about the editions to come?
First of all, I would like to thank the speakers because it was really interesting, and we can see all the issues you and we have to face tomorrow. And I think that Mountain Planet, as the largest mountain development fair in France and in Europe, we have to offer you solutions with mountain entrepreneur, mountain industrial, but also we have to give you the chance to find solutions. So it's gonna be 900 brands, international visitors coming from over 70 countries from all over the world. We will have, as last year, the international delegation, and we invite you to, with the Cluster Montagne, to spend 2 days in the French Alps in La Rosière and Les Arcs, and it will be a very fun and premium event to share the benchmark between your ski resorts and to share about your best practices. 2024 will be also the 50th anniversary of the show. So we will have a different surprise. Number one, we will have a new website. Number two, we will organize a monster apéro, because I noticed that you are all fascinated by the French cuisine, not only the Austrian one and the Italian one. Number three, we will disclose new villages. We will have the startup village. We will have the renovation, low carbon, eco-building construction village as well. We will have the village of the transitions. We will have a village around all the questions of transport and mobility. We will speak about hydrogen as well. And we have also a new space about biodiversity. One novelty this year will be also the presentation of awards for mountain suppliers and region. So don't hesitate to apply very soon. We will give you more information in the coming weeks. So as a conclusion, I would like to thank all of you and remind you to buy your tickets for the coming exhibition, 16th to the 18th of April in Grenoble. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Jérôme. So now we're going to start the last part of our session. So the questions. So let's have a look on the chat. And I also have received direct email. So I have questions from Evan about, we talk a lot about sustainability, but what about accessibility, especially for the people who are diseased? So perhaps, Marco, is it a part of your things about that, about the accessibility for the family, for and also the people who are in disease?
Thanks for the question. It's a very interesting question. To be honest, it's part of our strategy actually, and we have to do some houseworks in the sense that in a couple of years we will have the Olympic Games in Cortina, and Cortina will host for the first time also the Paralympics, and we are improving ourselves. I would say we are learning from best practices all over the world, and I'm quite convinced. I'm quite convinced that we have many steps to do in this particular area. But we want to, because it's part of our strategy. We are very convinced that that it's important to be inclusive, and it's important to include all kind of customers, all kind of clients, and to offer them the best experience of the mountains, the best experience of the Dolomites, even if they have some handicaps, some difficulties.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I have another question. So perhaps these questions will be with Mathieu about sustainability. Is the suppliers or is the clients push you, or this is really some things that you push by yourself? Where this is a economy. Who is pushing you to change the way about the sustainability and your approach about this way?
I think it's a self-motivation. We, to be honest, might sound a bit arrogant, but we, I hate to say this, but there's no better place, unfortunately, than Chamonix to see the impact of global warming. We see the glaciers melting every day. So it's we're suffering from it. So we're well aware that we need to do things about it to improve not only our product, but also in the survival of people living here. So that's a huge motivation. Plus the fact that we, in all crises like this one, we tend to believe there's an opportunity for it, because as I said before, and that's the good news, since 2019, we perceive that there's a lot of requests from customers to understand what's going on in the environment. And it's a possibility for us, therefore, to explain, just like we're going to do in Montanvert sites, what's going on. Not trying to build a science museum, that's not the goal, because people are here to get some entertainment, but to pass on messages, to pass on explanations, to give them the possibility to not only get an information, but also to confront it with an eye view. And that's what we trying to do. And if you want to do this seriously, you have to be able to prove that the building you've done your best effort to do it by using all the best tools and the best equipment you can to reduce your impact on carbon issues. So that's what we try to do. Be coherent in a way in the message we pass on to people, and put the right investment, which obviously costs a lot of money, but it's the only way to be sensible.
Okay, thank you, Mathieu. Philippe, I have a question from you, from Thomas. What is your pricing strategy at the moment with the problem of inflation? So how your ticket pass, your dead ticket pass, what's the price now between the price you have the last year and how you will follow the trend?
For me, is the price every year very important. On the end of the day, which money we earn, we can invest, and we need a lot of money to invest that we are interesting for our clients. We are the first company in Austria which produce our tickets on a dynamic pricing system. This year we increase our prices round about between 7 and 10%. So we find a way to bring our costs in a normally level when we increase our ticket prices at around about 7 to 10%. Yes, Our day ticket in the top season is this year around about 75 euros. And for 6 days, we have a price from 419 or 417 euros. And these are the highest prices in Austria. But when you have high prices, you have also to bring good quality. And this is my passion.
Okay. Thank you, Philippe. We have another questions from Susanna, and this is for you, for example, Marco. And around Super Dolomiti Ski, there is a lot of many little resorts, which is not linked with your ski area, and especially the little resorts near the city. Do you have any partnership with them? Is there any partnership with the little resort where the people begins to learn to ski?
Okay. We have to say that in our area, we have 12 different ski resorts, and the offer is very extended, is very wide in terms of difficulties and in terms of chances of learning. That means we have from the smaller lift, from the, let's say, from the village lift to the cable car, which brings you up to 3,000 meters, for example. That means in our area, we have this different kind of offers. If you mean that, or if we have cooperation, for example, with smaller lifts, which are located near towns or near cities, we do not have that because of the extension of our offer, and we do not need that. We have other kind of cooperation. For example, we have a cooperation with the other part of the Dolomites, Skirama, Madonna di Campiglio, which is not far away from Dolomiti Superski, and it's let's say it's Trentino. It's another part of Dolomiti, and with this area we have a cooperation. That means skiers that have lift cards for this ski area, they can ski also in the Dolomite ski area, and so on. But if you are thinking about introducing people to ski with smaller lifts and so on, I don't think that we need that kind of cooperation because we have this offer in the area.
Okay, thank you, Marco, for your answer. Then the last questions for you, Philippe, from Miranda in Georgia. Are you considering corporate social responsibility as an important part of your sustainable development strategy? And please share with us your best practices.
For me, it's the best practice to be authentic, to do smaller parts, but they are very, very clear and speak about the facts which you make the world a little bit better of the sustainability side. This year, our biggest project is to bring solar energy on the glacier. And yes, these are facts, and to be authentic what you do. And for me, I'm very young, I'm 29. And in my round of older, it's very important to be authentic with this theme. And yes, this is my goal for the future, to be there authentic and to be a player in the first row.
Okay, thank you, Philippe. So now it's 1 o'clock, precisely 1 o'clock. So a very big thank you to everyone for your presence with us today. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Philippe. Thank you, Mathieu, for your testimonies. And thank you to David, Nathalie, Kaline, Laurent, and Jerome. You help us to prepare this roundtable. If you appreciated this discussion, for those who can, see you at 5 o'clock p.m. for our third roundtables dedicated to the American Continental Mountain Resorts. In any case, Cluster Mountains remains at your disposal. And at the latest, let's all meet on Mountain Planet in Grenoble for 5 days on unforgettable ski and trade show. So let's say see you in Mountain Planet, and bye-bye to everyone. And thank you for your presence today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for the invitation.
Bye-bye,
Bye.
Philippe. Bye-bye, Marco. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Done.